publicly state that. I think they're doing a great job.
But they don't have any money to manage those judges.
Well, but no, I think they're doing a fantastic job under some extreme circumstances.
Our implementation budget for fiscal year 2009-2010, and also our needs-based plan budget for 2010-2011. Our implementation budget stands as certified by the state at $7,728,784. Due to some adjustments and decreases the state made, it is less than $8,041,327 previously approved by the county last year. This will bring the county share, reduce the county share by $147,525 over what was previously budgeted. Our county share for this fiscal year is $1,765,732. And I would caution you, obviously, that could easily change depending on what happens with the state budget and pass.
What gets paid for from the budget? So because we just had the treasurer's report again, telling us how we're short $1.7 million of what they owe us.
Correct.
And I think
in-home services is where we contract with providers to provide intensive in-home services, parenting, working with dysfunctional families, trying to get the children acclimated back to like maybe the community or attending school, truancy cases, those kind of things. Foster care, obviously children are in foster care.
explain why they're in foster care.
Due to child abuse, serious neglect, cannot remain in the home with the biological parents, are not safe in the home with the biological parents. Usually younger children go into our own foster homes. Then we have purchase of service placement services like specialized foster care, and that would be for children that have more difficult behaviors than would be appropriate for our own foster homes. Oftentimes older children. Then you get to the point where you have the children that really have some difficulties, a lot of real incorrigible behaviors, acting out behaviors. They would go into like the residential placements. More of an impact on our agency as opposed to juvenile probation from the truancy stance. We're going to start, I would see an increase in the number of truancy referrals coming from the school district. As well, closing of the players now, these kids aren't going to be going to the high school. They're going to be truant, and then we're going to get an increase in referrals in that respect.
Well, what's the daily cost on the average?
Detention right now is $275 per day, with our primary provider being the Lancaster County Youth Intervention Center. Placement otherwise varies from $101 a day at say Glen Mills or Summit Academy to as high as $275 at Northwest for secure or intermediate secure placement. If you get into the YDC, YFC world, which is the state-run entities, per diems there range from, and I just got a new sheet, I think it's 300 and something to as high as 485 a day, depending on which facility you go to. It's not, I don't think it's a very good system. We don't use it. But I do have to keep dollars there in that cost center, because sooner or later I do get kids that nobody else will take. And YDC, YFCs must take them if the judge orders them there. They do not have a choice.
Reported today, apparently the county is somewhere around $140,000 in red. You're owed $1.7 million from the state for services that the county has already paid for. It would seem to me that the cupboard is bare. What is it that you say to the contractors that provide some of your services when, quite frankly, you don't have much choice in the moves that you make with certain children?
And I think that's an issue that we need to discuss with the Board of Commissioners at some point on whether we should continue to pay these providers. A number of counties have already discontinued paying providers until the state budget is passed. There's certainly pros and cons to not paying providers. Some are very understanding. I can see some saying, well, if you're not going to pay me, come get the child. I don't think a lot would do that. The bigger concern is if you have a child that you need to place and you're not paying provider, I really would not foresee them being willing to take the job, then you could be stuck with someone with some difficulties and have no place to go. But again, as I said, other counties have, some other counties have discontinued paying all providers, and simply because they don't have the money. You know, all the things that we're hearing from the state is that, you know, there's not going to be any kind of budget passed for quite some time, so it's certainly issues that we'll have to address with the commissioners.
So from what you're telling me, it seems to indicate that there might be a time when there is a child who really needs intervention now, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it, or will
Well,
not be able
I wouldn't go to that extent at this point. All I'm saying is, if I'm a provider and I'm not getting paid, would I be willing to take on any additional burden? I don't know that I would. Whether it would get to that point or not,